Hi, it's James from Hidden Depths Coaching. So Monday clip today. What I thought I would talk about today is relationships, right? And when I talk about relationships, I'm not just talking about the relationship with maybe your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. I'm talking about all relationships, right? Because everything is a relationship, right? You've got a relationship with your job, you've got a relationship with fitness, you've got a relationship with your partner, you've got a relationship with friends. So everything, and you've got a relationship with yourself, right? So everything starts with a relationship. And the things that's making relationships so demanding everywhere you go is two things, right? It's high expectations with poor communication, right? I just want you to think about that for just a wee bit, right? And even let's just think about your working life for a start, right? You've got bosses, managers, leaders of companies that have got these very, very high expectations, what they're looking for. But often that expectation isn't communicated correctly to the people, that are actually doing the job. So there's so much confusion. And then you've got all the people talking about it to each other, but they're not talking about it to the people that can really change it. And then you look at relationships with friends as well. You may have a different expectation of what a friendship is compared to that person. But if you don't communicate that with that person, then they've got no chance of knowing what that expectation is. And often that expectation might be too high. So can you see, even and look at, in a relationship when you just meet your partner, at the start, you've got very, very low expectations of where it's going to go. You're just going with the flow, you're quite excited, you're just doing things, and then you start building up all these demands, all these expectations. And often that would be fine if you clearly communicated to the person exactly where you were coming from and what you were looking for. Then after that communication, that person's got a choice, is this the type of relationship that I want to be in? And that's what I'm saying. Most people would rather go and spend their time talking to everybody else bar the one person that could probably solve the problem, or at least answer the question to that expectation level. And obviously doing coaching, I see this all the time. But let's go back to yourself, right? And the biggest problem, everybody talks about, feeling good and feeling happy and, and enjoying life. But what you seem to see around about you is people being so fucking hard on themselves. And if you look at the way we've been taught to deal with relationships, right? We've been brought up in relationships. As I'm saying, you're in a relationship with your work, your relationship with your partner, a relationship with your friends, relationship with yourself. And we've been taught to, expect things without communicating. And everybody does it. Everybody expects certain things, and then that creates this judgment within you. So you actually start judging people when you don't even know what they're going through themselves. So can you see how you're evaluating and putting all these expectation levels? And I'm all for high expectations. I've got very, very high expectations of myself, but I'm quite clear in my communication and what I want and what I don't want to do. So that then keeps me in alignment with the expectations. But what I'm trying to say is, if you've got anything in your life that you're not willing to communicate with it, then don't expect anything. Just allow them to do it the way they're doing it. Because if you've not clearly communicated it, how can you expect anything different than the way they're doing it? Can you see that? But let's bring that back to yourself, and that's what I'm saying. This is the most important. But you sort the relationship out with you, and every other relationship you'll be able to handle easily. And the way you're not handling it is because you expect too much of yourself. And what happens is you're full of wishes. I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to go here, I need to exercise. And you've got all these needs that are not true. Because the truth is, you need a roof over your head, you need air, you need food, you need money. But about 95% of the stuff that you put in yourself as being a need, you don't actually really need it. So to get that into something that you would prefer to do, then what I would say is look at the expectation level you put in yourself, communicate with yourself clearly on what is important to you and what's not. And then when you've got that relationship built up with yourself, then be that person with everybody else you meet. And, you know, if you've got a friend, or you're in a business, or, you know, you're running a team of people, lay the expectation levels down by communication. Don't just expect people to do it your way, because no two people look at the same tree and see the same thing. You know, we all perceive things in different ways. We're all get different meaning to things. So everything that means something to me can mean something completely different to the next person. And that's why being a coach is really good, because it's taught me the importance of communication. It's taught me that never guess anything. Ask a question. Ask somebody where they're at and what they're thinking about, and if that really meant that. Because 99% of the stuff that you perceive as being true, you'll find out that it's not true. You'll find out there's, in amongst all of your own perceptions, is the truth. And the only person that will ever give you that truth is the person that you've got the perception on. And if it's important to you, ask them. If it's not, let go of your expectation. It's not important. Can you see that? So, but the biggest one here is with yourself, right? And, you know, let's take the friends and the partners and the work and everything out of it. Let's start communicating better with ourselves. Because if you're not honest with yourself, you've got nothing, right? I will be truthful with that. If you've not got it in you to just sit down and be truthful with yourself and say, right, wait a minute, what do I expect from myself? What is the expectation levels for James Mccourt? And then by communication, looking at what I'm doing and saying, right, you know what, that measures up to the expectations. And then when you're called, you're in alignment. And that's when you feel happier, you feel balanced, you feel in flow, because you've looked at the expectation levels and you've made sure that you've communicated with yourself enough to say that is within my remit. You know, that's going to keep me in alignment. I'm quite happy with that. But if you don't communicate with yourself and you just have this high standard for yourself, then you'll never ever achieve it. And I was watching the Tony Robbins thing on Netflix, and he said something that was really cracking, you know. He says we overestimate what we can do in a year and underestimate what we can do in 2 or 3 decades. And that's what everybody's doing. Everybody's been so hard on themselves on this moment, what they need to do now, that they're forgetting what they're going to do, you know, 10, 20, 30 years from now. So if you want to feel easier about yourself, then what you will need to do is bring that expectation level in alignment with how you communicate with yourself. Because there's no point in having this great expectation level if you're not being honest, if you're not being truthful, if you're telling yourself you can do all that stuff, but really you can't. And actually, when you section up and say, right, this is what I'm committed to do today, this is it, and anything else apart from that is a bonus, you will feel better and you'll feel as if you've really achieved something in your day. So the message today is on relationships, but as I said, it was not on relationships with anybody else. I was just giving you an overview of that. This relationship with yourself is probably the most important one you'll ever have. And everybody has been very, very hard on themselves, and that's what's jamming you up the most. Alright, so I hope that's giving you a way of looking at yourself, looking at what you expect from yourself, and then just communicate, put it down. Is this what I want to do today? And then, you know, let the rest go. Let the rest of the demands and the pressure just go, and you'll find this expectation level and communication will just be bang on. And then when it's bang on, you'll feel good. And it might not be to somebody else's liking, because they might expect more from you, but unless they communicate that to you, then just keep doing your own thing, and I can guarantee you'll get to where you need to get to. Alright, listen, my 2-day workshop, 10th and 11th of September, I think there's about 6 tickets left, round about that. So if you've been to a seminar, you know, I know there's quite a few folk who are interested in this date, so if you've been to the seminar and you want to make that next step and really get into how all this works and how laws of attraction works for you, then, you know, come to this 2-day workshop, because it's, you know, I absolutely love doing it, and every time I do it, it just keeps getting better and stronger. So listen, I hope to see you all there, and as I say, the guys that have already booked, looking forward to it. And I've got some tickets left for the 1-day seminar in October if you want to start your journey with Hidden Depths. Alright, listen, thanks for listening, and please share with your friends, and have a great day. Alright.